They shitted on you all across your forehead. Understand what I'm saying, baby? Some people run out with your sauce and sprinkle your sauce on somebody else's chicken. You done gave them the game. You done gave them the game on how to get money in their lane, but they go round somebody else and sprinkle your sauce, the same shit that you taught them, the same pressure you gave them, the same vibe you taught them, man. They go give it to somebody else that don't even fuck with them like that. It might be an op. It might be your op. You got to be careful. Sometimes you got to look at things like this, man. A person could be a diamond in the rough, or somebody could have planted them in your program. There's some people out here that's planted in your program, dog. They planted. Somebody planted them there to goddamn receive all the moisture from you, all the game from you, all the knowledge from you, all the wisdom from you, so they could bring it back to them. They could bring information from them. You got to be careful about who you put around you, who you place around you, who you tell people think. You got to keep some shit reserved to yourself. Reserve and conserve yourself, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you don't, and you get in your emotions thinking a nigga won't, man, the same people you think ain't gonna do you like that be the ones that'll do you like that first, baby. Can't get everybody your sauce. Can't feed every hungry dog. Can't help every bird fly. Some of them birds meant to stay on the ground just like a duck, just like a flamingo. Some bird might be pretty, but that don't mean they meant to fly. Just like an ostrich. Understand what I'm saying? Some birds, you got to stay right there, baby, because if you do too much, they might do too much. It wasn't meant for them to fly. It wasn't meant for them to sit right there and watch you eat, because they heart ain't right, they mind ain't right, and their intentions ain't no good. So you can't feed everybody in your hood. You got to select the chosen few that's just like you, that's going to put the right people in position, that's going to come back and never switch on you, because they know you fronted them and you put them in position, and they wouldn't have shit if it wasn't for you, man. Make sure you remember that. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, youtube.com.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Much mercy and true honors to you brothers that's actually in the spirit, that believe on the new covenant, that are hidden away. I got a couple scriptures continuing off the lesson from yesterday. And like I was going into yesterday, you really can't hide yourself, and nothing can be hid. It's either you're of the Lord or it's either you're not of the Lord. And that's what's being revealed in these days. The false prophets is being revealed. You know, the way and the pattern how guys are teaching, avoiding that new covenant and really glorifying Yahweh Shai, because that's who you need to glorify more than anybody. You need to glorify Yahweh Shai. So when men are not really glorifying Yahweh Shai and trying to glorify John the Baptist and Elijah, even Elijah had enough integrity to understand that Yahweh Shai was way greater than him. And what guys are trying to do is downplay Yahweh Shai, and what they're trying to do is actually downplay Yahweh Shai and uplift everything else. And guys that were in the flesh, and you might have certain guys that started teaching this truth in the 60s, and that's cool. But in these last days, those guys ain't gonna save us, man. The only the mediator to the Lord is Yahweh Shai. So what camps, groups, and these guys, they're set up to downplay the covenant, to downplay Yahweh Shai, so you don't have no way out of this, because Yahweh Shai is the only way out of this. So guys are not hiding themselves on high levels and on low levels. And you have to be able to see what's going on, because if you can't see what's happening, then you will be taken by all this super teaching out here. You got guys, they're doing all this teaching, but they're not glorifying Yahweh Shai. They're not glorifying the covenant. They're not making you understand that Moses and Elijah, John the Baptist, these men, they spoke of Yahweh Shai. He is over everything in the scriptures. So what false prophets are set up to do, and they're doing it, they're set up to to down talk Yahushua and get you not to believe in that covenant right now. You see? But by you believing in Yahushua and that covenant and moving like him, like the Lord said, that's the only way you're going to get out of here. You see, these guys that have a position in the world, they are against the Lord. Like I said, when you go to Revelations, the 11th chapter, it tells you that the place where the Lord was crucified, he was crossed out here. You see, and this is the place where the Lord is crossed out and the wicked are exalted. The vilest men are exalted on every side. So the men with the most views, the clout and the fame, they are the most scumbag. And there is no new bodies without Yahushua and that new covenant. There is no new song without exalting the new covenant. You really have demonic men set up against the Lord. They're set up against their salvation and they're set up against yours. This is what the most wickedest time ever. So you have false brethren. You have demonic men set up, man. Set up for the majority of our people to walk down that wide gate so you can be destroyed. And the sad part about it is, what a good part about it is, the Lord set up a door. You see, like David said, he'd rather be a doorkeeper. Well, he set up certain men to teach you about Yahushua so you can understand that it's an attack on Yahushua, and men will do anything in their power to downplay the Lord. That's why guys got these positions, because they're downplaying the Lord. But according to the scriptures, we understand that this is what the Lord mentioned in Matthew 24. It was going to be a bunch of false prophets. So these false prophets are in these major camps. There's false prophets everywhere, and it's all type of signs the Lord is giving in these times to let you know that if you deny the Lord and you let groups and guys out there get you to deny the covenant in the Lord, and you will not make it. Nobody's more important than Yahushua. John the Baptist paved the way for the Lord. That don't make him over the Lord. Then these guys that set up against the Lord, you better believe it. False prophets, false brethren, just as they're set up against Yahushua, you have men set up against the word, set up against his men. You see, and if Judas Iscariot was back in them times, Judas Iscariot is here in this time way worse. And that means that just a lot of guys are teaching his word and they took the bag. And then and then on the other hand, you just got a lot of reprobates that are not even of the Lord teaching his word, which you have to get to Yahushua. You have to have a right heart and a right mind. You see, now this is the time to apply everything that you learned, because nothing is hid out there. The Spirit is revealing everything. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 63. Surely he knoweth your inventions and what ye think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. And that's what guys are doing. They're teaching his word and they're hiding their hate. They're hiding their sin. They're hiding their secret murder. They're hiding that they took a bag with Esau. They're hiding that they're teaching his word with an agenda. They're hiding that they're in bed with the enemy. They're hiding that they're demonic. They're hiding that they're false brethren. Like I read yesterday, Job said, really these guys are on the left-hand side, but they hide themselves on the right. So you got a lot of guys that's despised out there. You're like surrounded by wickedness, man. It's all around you. If the Lord said 1 man out of 1,000, you got to understand that. So anything exalted, and what guys are doing now, they could teach so good and all that bullshit, but guys are not in the spirit. Anybody can learn some shit and teach. But one thing you cannot learn, one thing you cannot just get is the spirit. You can get a bunch of info, but the spirit is not out there. So these guys have all the info and exalting everybody except the Lord. Guys exalt Solomon, and they like all these men that these guys are exalting, and the one that you should be exalting is the mediator, which is Yahweh Shai. None of these guys can save you, man. None of these guys are the mediator. The mediator is needs to be exalted. 2nd Ezra 16 and 63 again, it says, surely he know of your inventions. Right, the inventions in the hearts of these guys and what they're doing, what they're teaching. How they're teaching. They're teaching in a subtle, cunning way. Where if you don't recognize and see it, they will pull a fast one on you. But the spirit is showing everything in these days, man. It's very heavy where nobody's hiding. But the thing is, they're hiding behind the multitudes where the multitudes they can't see. You know, like the Lord said, the blind lead the blind. It says, surely he know of your inventions and what ye think in your hearts, even to them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore the Lord have exactly searched out all your works. And he will put you all to shame. So these guys are being put to shame because they're teaching to the dead. And then on top of that, they're dead themselves. So the Lord is searching out all your fucking works, man. It is beautiful. All you false prophets, all your works. And guys are teaching all these things, but they're not in the spirit of the Lord. And they've been set up as an adversary against the Lord in the spirit, which when these guys get that judgment, everybody's gonna know that was of the Lord. They're gonna know it, just like when you go back to Korah, when Korah was swallowed up in number 16. Like the brother said, everybody knew that judgment came from the Lord. Everybody knew that, man. And that's what you're gonna understand when these guys get that judgment. And that's why he's keeping a lot of men around, because they're gonna have a very hard judgment. Now it says, all your works, it says, he will put you all to shame, and your sins are brought forth, and ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day. So the thing is, everything is being brought forth. There's nowhere where men is hiding themselves. And this is what you have to understand. This is what you got to understand. The Lord is really, he's closing this thing up. And men have to be scattered so they can be gathered. You might have to be scattered from groups, men, and all types of things so you could be gathered by the Lord. And this is what time we're in. We're in a very, we're in a time where there's nowhere for the wicked to hide themselves. It's just going to be judgment. And guys are teaching to the multitudes, and they're teaching to the thousands of subscribers and the people of the world. Because the elect will understand that the spirit will not be in the Y gate. The Y gate, yeah, they got a bunch of information, but the spirit is not there. If you look at these false pastors and shit like Gerald Osteen and T.D. Jakes and all these, they have charisma, and they're very charismatic, and they're able to teach certain things, but they're so far away from the spirit. That's how these false prophets is. You know, like that guy in Dallas, that guy in SC, and all these guys that are teaching the word. That's why you really have to be in the spirit to see in these days. Psalms 27:5, for the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. Right, and we're in the time now that the Lord is he's gonna get ready to make a move, and a lot of guys, they're stuck in their sins. And we're in a time where the Lord is snatching the power from the wicked because he's exposing them. You see, that's how you lose your power, because you begin to be exposed. And then that physical judgment comes. Psalms 37 and 35. I have seen the wicked in great power. And that's what we see now. The wicked are ruling in everywhere. The wicked have their hands in everything. That's why the book of Job say the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. It's not just Esau, it's our people too. These camps, these groups, these schools, these churches, they're given into the hands of the wicked. Psalms 37 and 35, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. You hear that, man? So the wicked they're in great power, but the scriptures say, hey, look, they're going to be passed away, and you ain't going to be able to find, like they're going to perish like they wasn't even there. Psalm 37:37, mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. So the upright men right now is being hidden. They're being hidden. It says, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. The wicked is going to be cut off. But remember, the wicked is in great power. But the end of their ass, they're going to be cut off. So this is their consolation. This is their shine. According to Luke chapter 14, the wicked will be exalted because they're going to take the highest seats in the room. Luke 14 and 10, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he baiteth cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher, and thou shalt have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. Right, so you're supposed to take the lowest seat. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. So guys didn't take that lowest room, like the Lord said, Luke 14:8, when thou art bidden to a man, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest there be a more honorable man, thou be bidden of him. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take the lower seat and be not known out there. I mean, you're known, but this, for everybody that got their thousands of subscribers and thousands of people listening to the word. And the thing about it is, not everybody's going to be saved. Not everybody's going to be saved. And so that's why guys are pushing in a demonic fucking way, because they're in the Y gate. They're not exalting Yahweh Shai. Let me grab this, man. Matthew chapter 23. Because our people, the Lord came and he rebuked our people. He was healing our people. Matthew 23 and 37. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killeth the prophets and stoneth them which are sent unto thee. So the history of our people is killing the prophets, is stoning the prophets, is doing certain things to the prophets that Esau didn't have nothing to do with it. The Lord said, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killeth the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen that gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. So our people kill the prophets. Our people kill the prophets, and they set up a bunch of fucking false prophets. So the false prophets, they're going to be on the fucking high seats. And it's a heavy judgment coming for the false prophets that's out there. When you go to the book of Acts, as I always mention, you had very different sectors of camps and churches. They were coming against Stephen. And that's the same thing today. All these camps deny the covenant. Sakari, all these groups in these camps, they're denying the Lord in the last days and say they're teaching the Lord, but they're denying that covenant. They're supposed to be glorifying the covenant and glorifying the mediator. Which Yahweh Shai is the only way you're going to get out of here. And the thing about it is, on another note, you got to apply everything you learned up to this point now. You cannot, you have to apply the thing that you learned. Because now, if the force isn't really with you, like Yoda say, may the force be with you. If the spirit is not really with you, then you're not going to make it. It's no acting in these last days. And the wide gate where guys are teaching all this bullshit, that's why they're going to get many destroyed. That's why you have to have the discernment to fucking see what the Lord really is. Right, so that's what this thing was. It was to pull a few out of the fire. That's what this is for. It's to pull a few out of the fire. And it's not for the multitude and thousands of subscribers. This truth is only for the few. And that's why in in Luke, it tells you to take the Lord's room. You see? And that's what you have to understand in these last days. The Lord didn't set this truth up to be some worldly thing where everybody was going to be gathered in a multitude. The Lord set this truth up for a few men to find and to be to be delivered. And all the false prophets with their philosophies and their ways of the world, the Lord is chopping them down through the hands of a few. And this is what you got to understand. So in the time of the false prophets and the false brethren, what you really have to understand is that the Lord is really going to destroy the wide gate and the men that's exalting more shit than Yahweh Shai. They're exalting everything else except Yahweh Shai. Let me grab this real quick, man. I gotta get out of here. But Philippians chapter 3. And Philippians 3 and 18. It says, "For many walk, of whom I have told you often now, and now I tell you weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of the anointing." Yeah, you guys gonna be right here?
We're gonna in and out.
Oh, okay.
You
Maybe over there.
You think you can fit between my car and the other truck?
On the other side?
Yeah, right here there's plenty of space. The thing is we're gonna be in and out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Salakia, man. I'm at work. Like I said, I do work. A lot of you weak ass false prophets out there, you false teachers, you don't even fucking work anymore, man. And we know you guys, you're paid off to sit around and just teach heresies and bullshit to our people so they could be destroyed. Let me read this again. It says, "For many walk." You hear that? Matter of fact, let me read this real quick. It says, let me read this again. It says, "Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example." So it's a certain way you supposed to walk with this truth, man. You supposed to exalt Yahweh Shai in that new covenant, making men understand that he is that mediator. It says, for many walk, of whom I have told you often, now I'll tell you weeping, that they are enemies of the cross of the anointed, whose end is their destruction, whose God is their belly, whose glory is in their shame, whose mind earthly things. So these guys exalted, teaching the Lord's word deceitfully, their end is destruction. And with that, shalom.